What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Jobber Bros, episode number 10. Holy shit, we've hit double digits.
Oh yeah.
Sound the alarm. Holy shit, man. Yeah, we are rolling through this. You got Donnie Smokes here with my man Johnny Rude, and we are gonna go over the fallout from Full Gear, everything that happened at Full Gear. My man, Mr. Rude, how are you today?
It's been a crazy day, but I appreciate you asking. Little boy is sick, so I went to the doctors. We got Moe's, which if you guys don't have Moe's in your area, it's kind of like Chipotle. If you don't have that in your area, it's like kind of like Mexican, but Americanized Mexican. And
Mm.
my wife and I's stomachs were killing us after Moe's, so we were trying to really retain ourselves at the pediatrics office. It was pretty brutal, but now we're home. I'm enjoying a nice whiskey ginger ale. Baby's
Nice.
upstairs sleeping, so all is well with the world. How you doing today?
I am doing all right. I was very tired today. It was a long weekend. I was at both Rampage and Full Gear this weekend. Yeah, it
Jealous.
was it was absolutely insane. And I got lucky enough to be sitting on the floor for Rampage. So I had originally bought tickets. If you guys don't know the app, it's called Game Time. It's really great. You can
Sponsor.
you can find, seriously, because you can find some cheap tickets last minute. And so I bought my tickets a couple weeks ago. For if anybody, if you're in the Jersey area and you're watching this, if you've been in the Prudential Center, you know what I'm talking about. Section 4, it's like the section of seats right after the floor. I got them for like cheap, $22 a ticket. Me and my dad are standing online. We're just about to go through the metal detector, and I just something clicked for me to go and look at Game Time, and they had section H, row 2, seats 5 and 6. So ringside for $22 a ticket. I said, I'm fucking buying those right now. That is happening 10,000%. And it was great. Unfortunately, I didn't get to sit on the floor for Full Gear, but I had great seats for Full Gear. And holy shit, man, it was awesome. We got to watch they recorded Dark that'll come out tomorrow. So yeah, man, it was absolutely so much fun. And the shit that happens when the camera is not rolling, commercial breaks, or they're doing, if you guys watch Dark on YouTube and they're doing like their version of a commercial break. Um, so much fun. People were playing rock, paper, scissors in the rings. Camera guys were running around. Justin Roberts and Dasher were just talking to the crowd. It was absolutely a phenomenal experience, 100%.
That's so awesome. I'm glad you had
Yeah,
such a great time. Yeah, we were talking back and forth throughout both nights, and
yeah.
Donnie really enjoyed himself. Wish I could have made it up there, but
Oh, absolutely.
it's always the
Yeah.
next one. We'll see.
Always, yeah, always the next one. I definitely, so far out of all the different wrestling shows I have been to, it was by far my favorite.
I just got an idea of something that you actually mentioned to me a while back that fell
Mm.
through, but we can kind of take that old idea and combine it with this new idea. Donnie Smokes and Johnny Rude, double or nothing next year in Las Vegas.
Ooh. Yeah, 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 yeah. I'm
That'd be
down with
crazy.
that. Hell yeah, 100%. I mean, Vegas is a great city. If you've never been there,
I have not.
go. Yeah, I know you haven't, but for
Yeah.
the general public, if you have not, it is worth the trip. The first time I got to go was for a pool tournament. I play pool. It's a lot of fun. Um, Keeps my brain working. The second time I went was for before Christmas for a George Strait concert. and then I just went to see Metallica in February this year at the new Allegiant Stadium, which was absolutely amazing. So I could only imagine where the AEW show would go because they could probably be close to filling Allegiant Stadium with the amount of people that go to these these AEW shows. ten
Yeah, I'm
thousand
not sure where they
percent.
usually have it because they usually do it in Las Vegas. I think with some stupid, which that's a very good
I think
possibility.
maybe if I'm not mistaken, they've done it at. I think they do it at the T-Mobile Arena
That sounds right. Yeah.
because it is a
Yep.
little bit.
You're right.
So the T-Mobile Arena, that's where I saw George Strait. Um, there, it is obviously much smaller than Allegiant Stadium because it is on the strip, basically. Like it's right behind. It's all the way down at the end. It's by you can see the Mandalay Bay from it. It's like right behind the Luxor and the old Monte Cristo, which is now Park MGM. And it's a smaller arena. It's like a Prudential Center, maybe a little bit, even a little bit smaller than Prudential Center type arena. I think it's closer to like the Kia Forum or the Barclay Center and stuff like that. You
Hmm.
know, so but and it's actually I know AEW is not going to be around the East Coast for a while. They're doing a lot of stuff out in San Antonio. Then they're doing this whole West Coast tour at a bunch of stadiums that they've never performed at before. So it's going to be fun to watch those. I mean, on television, but being at an AEW show is so different than being at a WWE show because when you go to an AEW show, it's like going to something like which I've never been to Impact, but just watching Impact is like GCW, which is kind of like all these different little amateur associations. And if you got everybody from those amateur associations with how rowdy those people are and put them in one room, that's what AEW is like. It's absolutely cool. Everybody's super friendly. You know, absolutely awful. Even the security guards sitting around the ring are talking to people, chilling, hanging out, like not
That's
caring.
awesome.
Yeah, man, it's such a cool experience. It really does feel like you're sitting in your living room with a bunch of friends watching the show.
That's fucking
So
awesome. And
yeah,
again,
that's what I really like about it. So, but now to get into the good stuff, and Mister Rude, would you mind telling us who the current champion is?
well, I regret to inform you, lovely people, but after a long, lengthy, beautiful couple month reign, we now have a new pay per view picks champion. And he is none other than the wretched beast, Donnie Smokes.
Yes, and it was a battle all night for that pay-per-view pick championship, man. We had some really close calls with a lot of the matches and I was just able to snag it from you. I get my baby back.
Yep. Yeah. Just to quickly go over this before we go over, our picks and the whole card in general. Our buddy that we do it with, he had a rough night. He only ended up with 12 points total for the whole card. We usually base it off of, who pins who for bonus points for tag team matches or multiple person matches, pinner submission for single person matches for bonus points, and then, of course, the winner. If you pick the winner right, it's another point. We always throw in little other bonuses like any surprise appearances, things of that nature. So and so interfered in this so and so match. All in all, in the grand scheme of things, our buddy got 12 points. I got 17 points. And Mr. Smokes got a big old 20 points. So, congratulations to you, sir. It was hell of a feat. You finally dethroned the longtime champion, and hey, it makes it even more special because you were actually fucking there. So that's what's up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think we have a running board of how many times each of us has won the championship. So I think that's something we'll divulge that number at the beginning of next year. I mean, since we're coming around to that, and
Mm-hmm.
because I mean we've been doing that long before the podcast, so there have been quite a number of title changes.
Yep.
Um,
I
so
gotta I gotta that little picture I had with like the throne. I gotta update
yeah.
that. I'm a couple
Oh
pay
yeah,
per views
yeah, yeah.
behind, but
That's
that's a
all
nice
right.
visual graphic. We'll post up probably a few episodes from now as we get closer
Yeah,
to 2023.
yeah, yeah, man. So I mean, so let's. I'm ready to get into this, man. So
Yeah.
we got. So we had. We'll talk about the pre-show first. There were three matches on the pre-show. First match, being best friends versus the Factory. So you had Orange Cassidy, Trent Beretta, Chuck Taylor, Rocky Romero, and Danhausen ended up coming out halfway through the match versus QT Marshall. Fill in for me
Solo.
here.
Aaron Solo, Shoddy Lee Johnson, Nick Camarado, and the new guy, I think Cole Carter. Is that his name? Yeah, I think so. Cole Carter. We'll go with that.
I couldn't get past QT, man.
But
um,
yeah, I mean it was a good pre-show match. A lot of action. I love the best friends. They do put on a good show for sure. The Factory is they're that little heel stable that doesn't gets the wins on Dark, but never really get the big wins on the main shows. Dynamite, Rampage, or pre-shows on pay-per-views. Um, but all in all was good. The main thing they were really aiming for here is showing Danhausen's darker side. Like they were no longer calling him very nice, very evil. They were saying very mysterious, very evil. And then he came out with his jars of teeth and some poorly done blood on his face. But hey, I mean, it's okay. And he came out and just started fucking everyone up. Like he took out the whole factory just by himself, pretty much, towards the late end of the match. And he ended up getting the pin on it. So I mean, great opener. The crowd was fired up. I mean, Donnie can vouch for that more than me because he was there live. But it seemed like they were hot and ready to see this action here.
yeah, North crowd was hot most of the night, and best friends. They loved the best friends. They loved when they gave them. You got to give the people what they want. At the very after the match was over, they all got the hugging on Danhausen. Everybody booed when
While
they
he's holding
did
the
it on.
pick,
Yeah, everybody
fucking ice
booed when
pick.
they did it on QT. But I mean, when Danhausen came out, man, boy, does he look. He looks like he kind of beefed up a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely, he looked really good. He didn't come out doing the whole, walk thing, walk from the crypt kind of shit. And,
Mm-hmm.
he came out, looked like he was ready to, fuck a motherfucker up. And that's exactly what he did. And it was awesome. He came out, the whole place lit up. And then he lit everybody in the factory up. And he definitely everybody was running off the crowd. Crowd was running off the performers, and it was as much as I don't like the factory, I just kind of annoy me most times I see him on air. Um, they're all very talented wrestlers, and they put on a phenomenal show.
Mm-hmm.
They really did. Most of the matches on this card was, phenomenal wrestling. Um, so yeah, man, it was lit. It was really great.
It was lit. Absolutely. I think I just heard my cat snore. My cat is snoring, and I was able to hear her through my headphones. Luna,
I
stop snoring. She's
I
sitting on the
can
chair right next to me.
I can hear.
You can hear her. If you can hear her, that means that, yeah, everybody can hear her.
It's
But
all
it's
right.
okay. It's all right. Well, if you hear that weird noise behind us, it's just a little tortoiseshell cat snoring. So all good. Um, Moving into
Uh,
match number 2 of the pre-show, we had an eliminator tournament semifinal for Winter is Coming. Oh my god, she's still going. Winter is Coming. I'm sorry, it keeps distracting me. I'm gonna poke her. All right. Anyways, eliminator for a title shot at Winter is Coming. We had Starks going up against Brian Cage, and there was a lot of animosity going into this match, given that they used to be in part of Team Taz together. These guys have some
mhm.
history. And Ricky won the belt from Cage, did he not? He won that FTW title from Brian
He did.
Cage, took it off his ass, and later lost it to Hook, who was another FT or a Team Taz member. But nonetheless, I mean, what are your thoughts on this match? I thought it was a good pre-show match.
I thought it was a very good pre-show match. I like the way Starks wrestles a lot better than Cage does. And now I know we're talking, you know, I don't want to say this with any disrespect, but like his build is almost like a cruiserweight kind of build, right? And you know, Cage is Cage is a big man. He's a
The
big old beef.
Machine,
Yeah, he's a big old
literally.
he's a big old beefcake. And he can do big man things, which is great. And when you're in the ring with somebody like Ricky Starks, I feel like I know Cage can move. I know he could do that stuff, and I felt like he just wanted to stay grounded the whole time. And I really like the way Ricky wrestles. It's a lot of fun for me to watch. And all in all, it was I would say it was a great pre-show match. Absolutely.
Yeah, I would say out of the three we had to that we got to witness, I would say it was definitely second. I would give the first match three, like third out of third best. I give this one number two, and then this next one we're going to discuss. Uh, top. I feel like this should have been on the main card personally, but nonetheless, I don't really have much else to say on that besides you. Starks got the pin. 1, 2, 3. He's moving on to the finals against Ethan Page. Whoever wins that match have a
Yeah.
title shot at Winter's Coming. So we'll see what happens there. It's a great matchup. Um, but yeah, what do we got for the next one here?
So for the next one is something very very special that everybody got to witness. So ever since I'm gonna kind of say the exact thing Tony Khan kind of said the scrum. If I could talk tonight, that'd be fucking great.
The scrub.
Um,
That'll be. We gotta have a Jobber Bro
yeah,
scrub after the AEW
yeah.
scrums.
Right. That would be great. So he said, is somebody had asked the question about more wrestlers from New Japan and DDT coming in, and he said that ever since the Forbidden Door was opened, I am welcoming anybody who wants to come and wrestle. I welcome it. I enjoy it, and it creates special moments like the one we saw not only on Friday night but tonight. Now I know we're talking about Full Gear, but on Friday night you had Kingston and Ortiz versus Akiyama and forgive me, I can't remember
Takeshka.
the
Takeshka.
yeah,
His
yes,
name's a little
yeah,
hard to pronounce.
something like that. And Akiyama was somebody Eddie Kingston looked up to and wanted a match with him, so he got his pre-show match on Full Gear. The crowd was fire for that whole match was fire. It was cream. I mean, you got two heavy duty hitters going at it who've always wanted to wrestle one another, and they were just going to give you each moment was a great moment. You can't say there was one great moment because every single one in that match could be number one. I mean, I was sitting in section 114, almost in the nosebleeds, and I could hear the fucking chops hitting, and it sounded like it was right next to me. Like these guys knew how to please a crowd with with what they were going to do. It was great, and it was a dream match for the ages, man. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I would definitely plug our video that you took of said chops and back and forth exchanges. But we at Java Bros actually got our first copyright strike for
Cheers
that
to that.
video, for a live recorded video by Donnie Smokes in the Prudential Center in Newark, live. His recorded by Fight TV, who definitely, of all people, does not own the rights to the footage. So we're working on getting that video back up and getting that strike removed, because we don't like those strikes over here. But
Yeah.
yeah, just figured I'd let you guys know that the little tidbit uh, in Jabber Bros lore. But all in all, this was great. I love this match. This was my favorite one of the pre-show. I know how much this match meant to Eddie Kingston. He was like bawling his eyes out in tears, choking out his words after the match. And I could tell, there was some fire in Jun Nakayama's eyes. Like, I think he wants a rematch, because Kingston got him with the back fist for the 1, 2, 3. But I could tell, they shook hands, everything was cool. No one attacked anyone after the bell. But I think we're gonna see a rematch here down the road, a singles rematch, which will be dope.
I hope we do see a singles rematch 100%, and I hope we see more guys from New Japan cross over, to AEW on in America here, and just really show us what we're missing. In recent weeks, I've gotten even more. Really, I would say not even weeks since we started doing the podcast. I have been paying a lot more attention to all walks of wrestling, and there's so much out there. You couldn't fit it all in your fucking lifetime. You really couldn't. Like, I watch so many videos, my brain explodes. Um, and it is, but it's like getting into the New Japan thing and how they do things over there is so cool, man. So I hope we get to see more of that over here on live television. These guys coming into AEW, with AEW opening that said forbidden door and letting us into that culture, because there are a lot of guys in AEW, that constantly fly over to Japan and have wrestled in the New Japan circuit for a long time. FTR is still the champions in New Japan, are they not?
Yeah.
Right. One of the most decorated tag teams in wrestling today that we see on AEW is in New Japan. The Young Bucks have been in New Japan. Omega's been in New Japan. And if you flip over to the WWE side, the whole OC was in New Japan. So yeah, a lot of people go over there because they know how great it is. So I hope we get to see a lot more of that. This match is just amazing. Absolutely was. It was really awesome to see.
Yeah, no, I love that. I wish they could have fit it on the main card, but I get, we had a lot of other bangers to go through. So, yeah, I mean, we're almost 25 minutes in, and we're just getting to the main card right now.
And listen, and I'm gonna tell you, the pre-show deserved all 25 minutes we gave.
For sure, 100%.
Absolutely, man. So I mean, but
Yeah,
talking about bangers on the main card, we opened up with something absolutely spectacular from beginning to end. The first match of Full Gear, Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus in a steel cage match. Holy fuck, is how I'm going to start this. From
yeah.
beginning to end, I mean, mwah.
Was great. Was a great example of what you want a steel match to be in your company. Was beautifully done. This was a grudge match between two very long friends. Luchasaurus met Jungle Boy when he was 10 years old. They trained together. They ran the independents together. Uh, they ended up teaming together, coming together at in All Elite Wrestling. Um, and yeah, the crippling of the mind of Christian Cage, corrupting rather of Luchasaurus, kind of led us down this dark path between these two guys here. But it was all in all the match insane, great match. Lucha really dominated a good bit of it. Jungle Boy got some shots in when he could, but all in all, he was bloodied up within like 5 minutes or so of this match. Jungle Boy split
Yeah.
open. Um, and yeah, my personal opinion, this match was a beautiful match, and I mean, we'll see how long Christian takes to heal, because I know it's got to culminate with Christian versus Jungle Boy, kind of how this all started. But his arm's
Yep.
still fucked up, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit on that.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I can't wait to see what happens when Christian gets back. And I know Jungle Boy has said that you know he's feels like it's come to a close with Luchasaurus, and he's ready for Cage whenever Cage decides to stop being a bitch and get back in the ring. Um,
Yeah.
but it phenomenal way to start the pay per view. I mean, like you said, you had a lot of back and forth. Luchasaurus dominated most of the match. I mean, Jungle Boy was just getting thrown into that cage, freaking left and right. And obviously Jungle Boy was able to come back, get on Luchasaurus's back, get him a little choked out, hit him in the head a couple times, and then set him up on the table that was brought into the ring. And what do you think happened next, man? Nobody knew what was going to happen next. I don't even think even Jungle Boy thought he was going to climb all the way to the top. But he started climbing up that turnbuckle, and everybody in the arena started chanting, "To the top, to the top." What the fuck does he do? Man climbs all the way to the top of the steel cage, takes it in for a moment, and blasts a massive elbow from the top of the steel cage on a Luchasaurus through a fucking table. Holy shit. It was absolutely, I mean, I could just imagine how I would feel just watching that on screen, us two talking, being there, the whole place fucking exploded.
Yeah, no, that was a crazy fucking culmination to the match. And like you had mentioned to me, you saw Jungle Boy's whole like side, like ribs, abdomen
Oh,
bruised the fuck up.
dude.
So he's gonna probably take a well deserved couple weeks to recover from that crazy impact he had. But all in all, they put on a great fire opening match for this pay per view here.
Yeah. Spitting fire with that opening match, man.
Yeah, spitting absolute fire. Well, we are going to try something new here. I'm going to be right back. And I'm going to show on the screen right now a picture of Donovan's Pitbull, Red. Be right back, everybody. All right, and we are back. I got an empty bladder and a full cup of whiskey ginger ale. So we are ready to go here. Hope you enjoyed that beautiful picture of that beautiful pup that is Red, Donnie Smoke's dog.
That
And
dog
let's
is
roll.
something special. That dog is actually about to be 6 on Friday.
Woo! Well, happy early birthday, Red.
Yeah.
Clap it up for Red.
Surprised he made it that long.
Hey, no, he's a tank. That dog.
He's a nut, just like his owner.
There we go.
So, I mean, all
So let's
right.
get into the shit. We got
Yeah.
a second match was one that was very anticipated on the card. So it
Mhm.
was heater after heater. We had the trios title match with the reigning champions Death Triangle, Pac, Phoenix, and Penta versus the returning Elite. The Elite coming out to Wayward Sons by Kansas. That was fucking sick. I popped myself in my chair here. Donnie sent me a video. I popped again. That was was Very cool. I love that song. I remember playing that song on Guitar Hero back when I was in high school, and
Yeah,
it brought the nostalgia back. It's a great, in my opinion, amazing entrance song. Worked perfectly for them. And yeah, overall, I think we can agree. We didn't agree on the pick for this match, but we can agree that we both like the outcome.
absolutely. Yeah, the outcome was what I had hoped for. Um, the match itself was an absolute banger. Death Triangle held the titles. Ray pinned Omega. But there was a little bit of fuckery going on in there. You know, Pac dragging Phoenix down the dark and dirty there, man. I He didn't want to do it. He was upset after the match. So if y'all don't know
Mm-hmm.
what's been going on, after the first time, Pac and Orange Cassidy went at each other for the All Atlantic champion. Pac grabbed the ring bell hammer, hit Orange Cassidy with it, and retained the title that way. And that's been a reoccurring theme with Pac lately. Um, Most recently, he's been trying to get others to do it to retain the titles. They didn't want to do it. Kenny Omega had Ray up in the one winged angel, and ref was distracted, and Ray Phoenix decided to use the ring hammer because not losing the titles uh, outweighed the moral aspect of life.
Yep. Yeah. No. Yeah. They're playing dirty for sure. They're trying to. I think they're seriously, because when we last saw the elite, they were pretty much all heels for the most part. Um, Death Triangle's always bordered that line of heel and face, especially with
Mm,
Pac. Um, but I think the tides are turning now, and they're going to try and really push the elite as baby faces and have the have Death Triangle truly be these dirty, cheating heel boys. But all in all, fantastic match all over the place. Every person in this match did amazing. The elite didn't look like they missed a single step the entire time they've been out. Um, and yeah, I mean, I have to give it to them. It was a great fire second match on the card because sometimes the crowd will lose a little bit of steam coming off the first match on the main card, but they definitely delivered, especially with the return of them. And yeah, all in all, I think the outcome was right. And now we're going into a best of seven contendership. Going through to see who can really pull it through. Maybe we'll have a stipulation, no ring bell hammers. We'll see what comes down the pipeline here. But yeah, all in all, I'd say it was a good return and a great match.
yeah, I don't know how I feel about the best of seven, because I I feel like there are other trios that are either in AEW or could be made that that deserve title opportunities. But
Mm-hmm.
like I would like to see Matt Hardy and Private Party wrestle Death Triangle for the All Atlantic Championship, or not All Atlantic, trios champions. I know there's a lot of shit going on with them being attached to the firm right now, but you know I don't see the need to keep putting the elite in championship opportunities right now. Like I love the elite, right? I haven't loved them as much since they've been heel, and I'm gonna get back to that point in a minute, which is something you just touched on. But like I could see maybe a best of three and then move on to somebody else and do a best of three. Best of seven? That seems like a little much to me. I guess maybe I don't understand why they're doing it. Do they really not have anybody else to go up against Death Triangle, or is it because of the ring bell hammer? Like what I wish I knew the reasoning. Maybe I could then reason with that a little more.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because I get, yeah, maybe best 3 out of 5 would have been a little bit better all in all. Because basically, what they're trying to say, in my opinion, I don't know. I don't talk to Tony Khan. Is that
One could only
the
guess.
elite never lost the titles. They never lost the belts. He had all that shit that transpired after All Out. That kind of led to this situation. So he's given them a fair shot. They're two amazing trios teams, and he's letting them go at it for the long haul here for this best of seven situation, which I could see. Which you probably see too coming down the pipeline. It's going to be 3-3. So Death Triangle already has one, and then they're going to end up with 3 wins each, and then it's going to be that tiebreaker, that final match. That's going to give one of the teams the winning, best of seven threshold here. But and honestly, I think it probably will be the elite. But then again, I picked them for this and I got it wrong. So who the fuck knows?
Yeah,
I don't
well,
know shit.
so I mean, yeah, I understand. I understand what you're saying, and maybe they want to elevate this title a little more. Um, so I guess we'll see where that goes. But to go back to a point I made before about the elites being heel, since the Young Bucks and the Elite turned heel, I have not really enjoyed it. The Young Bucks is one of my favorite tag teams right now. Has been actually for a couple years now. And what really kind of started that was like when I went all the way back and watched BTE from the very first episode all the way up to current, right? And at that time, current was only like 2 years ago.
Oh, I forgot to watch the new one. New one
I
came out today.
I did
Finally,
I did I watched it a couple hours ago. It was good. It was a
I
good
gotta
one.
watch
It
it.
was definitely it was pretty funny. It was very wholesome. Very down to earth. Not like some of the most recent BTEs we've seen in the past year. But Dark Order skit was pretty funny. Um,
Nice.
but yeah, I love the Elite as faces because I feel like that's what they're better as, especially the Young Bucks. They're actual, genuine people. This whole shit they've been doing as heel, it feels too fake because they're not bad people.
Mm.
Some people just have that persona around them that they can flip that switch and be a complete douchebag. Perfect example, two off the top of my head, one being Bobby Lashley, two being MJF. Those, in my opinion, are the two best heels in the wrestling industry right now. Two of the best. I think the best in the wrestling industry right now is Roman Reigns, but I'm not going to get too deep into that. But those three names I mentioned are the best heels in the industry right now because they can embody that whole persona. Like they seem like the type of person where it's like they're all nice and kind to you and anything. You piss them off, you flip that switch, and they are just done. I don't feel
Mm.
that from the elite. They're so much better as faces. I hope they turn face so I can really enjoy the elite again.
Right. Yeah, no, that definitely makes sense. But yeah, so I think that pretty much sums up that one. Death Triangle retains. We're going into a best of seven bout
Yep.
over the coming weeks here, and the next match we had was kind of the train wreck of the evening, I'd say. We had Jade versus
Yeah.
Nyla for the TBS title. I mean, the build, I did like the build of this. With Nyla stealing the belt and all the wacky vignettes and promos going on. It was cool that Nyla came out with Vicky and the hydraulics convertible, fucking kind of shades of Eddie Guerrero thrown in there.
Yep.
But the match flopped big time. I feel like. I mean, it was sloppy. It was the crowd was completely dead. I mean, you could hear a pin drop in there. I think, at least from what
Yeah.
I could tell.
No, you really could. It was quiet most of that match.
Yeah, but the right person won. You know, Jade still undefeated. I know. I think Tony Khan is holding off, really trying to hold off, and have Chris Statlander, take that title off of Jade. But I mean, she keeps getting injured. I mean, it's hard. It's hard to you're gonna have to fill that spot, Tony. I mean, if Statlander's not healed in the next couple of weeks here, I feel like because Jade's what is she like fucking like 43-0 now, 42-0 something
Something like that.
maniacal. And I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know.
I mean, I had really high hopes for this match because in our prediction video we did, I had mentioned that I love long title reigns, right? I want to see Jade keep going with a long title reign, but if matches are going to keep flopping because people aren't wrestling up to standard that's expected, then changes need to be made. I mean, I would love to see Jade hold that title for the next year. I really would, because I think that's fun for me. Um, God, I was very, very disappointed with the match. I thought it was going to be a lot better because you had two great competitors, and maybe because that was just the whole feeling of the crowd and everything like that, it kind of rubbed off on me. But it was like, man, there were so many spots for great moments that just didn't come to fruition.
No, yeah, I felt it at home too. It just felt flat. The whole thing felt flat. Um, and is what it is. I mean, hopefully they both learn from it and can work off of it and build and be better. Because usually I like Jade's matches. I think they're very entertaining. She shows us like a dominant force. Nyla's good in her own right too, for sure. But this just didn't do it. This wasn't it, man.
Yeah, didn't do it for me either. Absolutely. So, I mean, listen, everybody's got a bad night. They're two great competitors that we'll see what happens. Maybe they'll have a round two together and redeem themselves. We shall see. But now we're getting into the fourth match of the night here, which was really great match. It really was. All the competitors did an excellent job. It was the fatal four way for the ROH championship title, which the Ocho holds and retained. So it was the Ocho, Chris Jericho, versus Sammy Guevara, versus Brian Danielson, versus Claudio Castagnoli. Fatal four way was action packed, man. Holy fuck. I'm still mad Jericho didn't pin Sammy.
Right. Yeah, we almost saw that happen. It was wild. A lot of a little bit for everyone in here. You had your old school, you had your high flying, you had your
Yep.
technical submission, you had a little bit for everyone. It was a great match. A lot of shenanigans, whether it be Sammy going at Chris with some moves, or Claudio and Danielson going at it. All in all, was just chaos. It was anarchy. But I mean, overall, I feel like the right person won. I picked Le Champion, the Ocho, to retain, and retain he did. Um, and yeah, I feel like he will lose it to the right person in a singles match. I didn't feel like this was the right time in a fatal four way.
Right, correct. I didn't think it was the right time either. I think we're gonna see, and this is my prediction. I'm gonna start a rumor that I've been trying to start. Um, there's gonna be in the coming weeks some animosity building between Sammy and Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho is going to be saying words like he always does that's going to rub Sammy the wrong way. And I think we are going to see Sammy do his fuckery and take that title off of Jericho, either during or after the next Ring of Honor pay per view. And that's what I think is going to happen.
I fucking hope not.
I'm not saying I would agree with it, but that's what I think is going to happen. Which it would be nice to. I think that would help Sammy turn a new leaf in his career. I feel
Fuck his
like
leaf, burn it.
Sammy needs a championship in order to kind of regain who he used to be.
I feel like Sammy needs to just go to like Impact or NXT or something.
Well, now I'm going to tell you the one thing I did enjoy during that match, which was the "fuck you, Sammy" chants blasting through the Prudential Center.
Hell yeah.
Oh man, I tried so hard to get a video while that was going on. It did. I couldn't get one, but it was great. But yeah, listen, we know who Brian Danielson is. We know how he wrestles. We know Claudio. We know Chris Jericho. It could have just been those three, and it would have been a phenomenal match. I am gonna say there was one spot that I did get a video of multiple exchanges between Sammy and Brian Danielson and the athleticism shown between those two to make that spot. It was, even though it was Sammy Guevara involved, it was such a magical moment between those two. I mean, going hardcore. Everything about this match. You have four guys who are technical and brute and high fly. Like all of them can do everything. So, which made that match absolutely phenomenal and a very special moment in the night.
For sure. And we'll make sure to get that up as a YouTube short. Fuck you, Fight TV. They're not taking that one down. We'll make sure to get that nice exchange between Danielson and Sammy up there, so you guys can see Donnie's live feed and what he witnessed there. But overall, definitely not the best match on the card. By far, not the worst match on the card. Was a
No.
great kind of midway segment into this next match, which is one for the books.
Yeah.
Kind of a historical moment in wrestling, if you will, with the return of Saraya versus Dr. Britt Baker. DMD was was a good match. Was a very good match. I feel like the right person won. You know, the returning Saraya. It was a lot of back and forth. You know, a lot of neck work too by Britt Baker, like working the neck, trying to play that neck injury, trying to
Eh.
for fuck's sakes re-injure her. And though I know she wasn't trying to do that, it was all just it was all for show, of course, for the
Yeah.
entertainment of us people. But all in all, I think they both ladies did a great job. It was a great, just like the last one, great middle segment to have in there. And yes, Saraya came up on top.
Yeah, it was really good. So the match for me, it felt slow. But it is Soraya's. I almost fucked up. I can't ever pronounce the name correctly. It's okay. Soraya. It was Soraya's first match back, so there is ring rust. No matter how hard you work to get all that ring rust off, there's always going to be little things. It was one of my favorite moments of the night. Absolutely. Um, it was really fun to see her back in the ring again, and I can't wait to see what she does going forward. And loosening back up, getting back into the groove of things. But it was really cool to witness. I mean, Britt Baker did dominate about 90% of that match. Um, and for good reason. She's the doctor. She's the DMD. She's gonna come out there and rip her fucking teeth out, basically. And
Yep.
she's what in my top five of favorite women wrestlers in WWE, just because of the work she is, and she is a great heel. You know, always love a good heel, and yeah, just it was definitely a lot of fun. I'm glad. I'm really happy that Soraya's first match was back, in Jersey, especially with me being
That's
there,
awesome.
which was great.
Fuck yeah.
So it was really really cool.
Fuck yeah. So all in all, yeah, I would say very good, return for Soraya. Britt Baker, sold all her moves great, and she, like you said, dominated for most of the match. Still knowing that Britt is that dominant force in the AEW Women's Division. Former champion. Um, so yeah, no love lost for either of these ladies. Great showing, and looking forward to what comes next year.
Absolutely. We might see a little bit more of a feud, but that's all right with me. Man, that is a-okay. But what is not all right with me, I'm kidding, is this next match. I did not get my pick, but that's okay.
Neither did I. I don't think did any of us. No, none of us.
I don't think any of us
None of
did,
us gets this shit.
because none of us saw this shit fucking coming at all. So
No, we didn't
the
even put this
was
down. This is the one I
one,
missed.
two, three, 4, 5, 6. It is a sixth match of the night. It is the triple threat TNT title match. Wardlow was the current champion at the time. Uh, Wardlow versus Samoa Joe versus Powerhouse Hobbs. Now, I had said Powerhouse Hobbs was going to take the title. I was really hoping it was going to be for both titles, the ROH Television Championship and the TNT Championship. It was not, just for the TNT. And the surprising end to this was that Samoa Joe is now a double champ.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Was yeah, was not seeing that coming, but I mean, I guess it makes sense. You get a double champ there. Samoa Joe's amazing in his own right. Just wasn't ready to see Wardlow give it up yet. I wanted to see a nice long reign from the War Dog here. Um, and who knows? Maybe he'll become two-time. Maybe he'll get a singles match against Mr. Joe. See if we can get it back. But I, all in all, it was phenomenal. A lot of beefy boys in there, throwing meat around. Um, but yeah, no, I wanted Mr. War Dog to retain. I did.
yeah. That's I love Wardlow. We do love Wardlow here at Jobber Bros. It he is a very fine competitor. I was ready to see Hobbs have a title. Joe already has a title. Why we got to keep repeating the double champ stuff? I know people love to see the double champ thing, but there is so much other talent in AEW that deserves to hold a title.
Hmm.
So that's where I come from. Like, I feel for the other talent that deserves titles. Like, why not give it to them? I mean, giving it to anybody, either Wardlow retaining it or giving it to Hobbs, would elevate that title just as much, in my opinion, as Samoa Joe having that title. Samoa Joe should be going after the AEW title, World Championship title, in my opinion. Like, that's the
Well,
level of competitor that Joe is, in my opinion.
Well, that's probably where Wardlow's headed, because he has that past history with MJF. So he's definitely not going to fucking win it off MJF as much as I wish he would.
Yeah,
Not
but
anytime soon, at least.
we're gonna get a great
But
match out of it at least.
yeah, it'll be a great match, but he ain't winning that shit. No, he's
No.
keeping that shit. I mean, I think till 2024. I hope he's keeping that for a little more than a year here at
Oh, I
least.
fucking hope so. As I love the long title reign. Um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
man. But I mean, these things. It was funny too because my brother was with me Saturday night, and I forget who came out first, but so let's just say for I think it was Hobbs, Joe, then Wardlow came out. So Hobbs came out, and my brother went, that's a big bitch. I went, yeah. Joe came out and he went, holy shit. Wardlow came in and went, motherfucker, those are three big beefy bitches in that ring. I went, yeah, and they can move too. So
Mm-hmm.
that was cool, but all around, ec- absolute excellent match. Those three competitors are phenomenal wrestlers. I love every single one of them in singles competition or in a triple threat like this.
Yeah, and I love, I love all three as well. I think, Hobbs, I think he'll get his revenge against Joe, whether it be for the ROH TV title or for the TNT title. I think I'm leaning more so towards the ROH TV title they might give to Hobbs. Um, just to kind of get a big AEW star on Ring of Honor television, homegrown AEW star on Ring of Honor television once they do get that. Because I've heard, through the grapevine, we don't got any external sources here at Jobber Bros, but I've heard that they're really, really trying to push for a TV deal or a streaming deal with Ring of Honor, trying to get that show up and running again,
Hmm.
trying to go ahead and get a weekly, episodic show going on so that we can showcase these belts in other places, whether in these wrestlers, other than just AEW's landscape. Um, so I think that'd be cool having Hobbs win the TV title, off Joe, getting his spotlight there. Um, but all in all, it was a good match. Big beefy men doing big beefy things, and yeah, I guess if you got nothing else for that one, we'll move into the next one with Sting and
Yeah.
Darby versus Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal. Now this was a fucking all over the place, crazy clusterfuck shit show, bumfuck. I don't know what else to say. Festival of carnage.
It was a not give a fuck festival of carnage. Nobody was getting counted out. No, listen, you have two icons, okay, in that fucking ring in Sting and Jeff Jarrett. Two, absolute massive names in the wrestling industry. They're gonna let them do whatever the fuck they want. I don't have much to say about this match other than it was a dream come true for me to see Sting. I have been a Sting fan for a very long time. When I was a kid, I used to dress up as Sting for Halloween multiple years in a row. I have a blanket with Sting on it that's at least 25 years old. Like I got a lot of, I mean, I used to have all his action figures. He was, before the Undertaker, my absolute favorite wrestler. He's my number two, all the way, and it was just a dream come true to see two legends and two great wrestlers today. Because Darby Allin, I absolutely love Darby Allin, and Jay Lethal is just a excellent pro wrestler. Um, that's all I got. It was just amazing to see.
Yeah, nah, I got much more to add to that. It was great. I love the spot where Darby came down from the top rope for a coffin drop, and fucking Jarrett hits a home run on his back with the fucking guitar,
Oh man,
and then Darby just pops up like a fucking demon, like that didn't even phase him. Starts going ballistic on him. It was
that's it.
wild. Sting jumping onto Santam Singh outside the big boy. Oh, and that spot, that one really popped me too, was where Sting was going for his the Scorpion. What the hell's the name of the
Scorpion
move?
Death Drop.
Yeah, Death Drop, Scorpion Death Drop, and he couldn't quite get him because he was too big. So then Darby comes off the top rope, coffin drop, boom, the big man goes down. That was just, yeah, I
Yeah,
love this match. This match really, I got not too much more to say about it, but I mean, there was a lot of cool spots in it, especially with the two legends that are Sting and Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Lethal and Darby definitely pulled their weight as well, making this match really
100%.
special.
Yeah, it was definitely a special moment that will always hold, a dear spot in my heart. Like I said, because of Sting, I've been a massive Sting fan for a long time, and it was so good to finally see him live after so many years.
For
So,
sure.
but that'll bring us into the match after that. I think it's the eighth match of the night on the main card. Um, was the interim women's championship match. Tony Storm was the current champion at the time versus Jamie Hayter. What a match. Absolutely what a match. This match, in my opinion, did not get the pops it deserved. There were so many great moments that the crowd, it just went over their head. A lot of people like went out to go get food and drinks and go to the bathroom during this match. Like
It's
it was,
fucked.
yeah, it was, and it was crazy because I mean, sadly enough, I was trying not to be one of them and ended up kind of being one of them. I was already out there before the match started, and then it started with shit. Got to get back in for this. It was awesome match, and I got my pick for this one. Oh man, I
Mm-hmm.
was very very happy about Jamie Hayter winning this title.
Donnie drinks that haterade.
Especially when it's that juicy, absolutely.
But yeah, no, we were both. I mean, I picked Tony Storm. I didn't think she was gonna lose it, but much love to Jamie Hayter. Congrats on the win. It was a very hard fought match. There was some shenanigans going on. With Dr. Britt Baker and
Mm,
Rebel going on out there, but all in all, it was a great, great match back and forth. Ultimately, Hayter won because Britt Baker removed the turnbuckle padding, and
yes.
then Hayter got a move off that, and then hit her with the signature lariat. Boom, 1, 2, 3, and we got a new champion. And I mean, congrats to Hayter. I mean, didn't win the cleanest way, but I'm excited to see where she goes with this belt here.
Absolutely. And I hope she is still holding it when they finally decide to drop the interim off of it. Um, that's a long time coming for me. I
Stupid.
do hope Thunder Rose is doing well. I don't know if she's fully recovered yet or is not sure what's going on. I know there was a lot of talk about that. People had asked a lot of questions about that during the scrum.
Mhm.
But Tony said that he's just trying to give Thunder Rosa every opportunity he can to come back and regain the title. Obviously in a match before he really does close that door. But um, I think it's time to close that door. I thought it was time to close that door when Tony Storm had it, even before she lost it. And I think Hayter will definitely, when they decide to drop that interim, they'll probably have a match. The current interim champion versus a number one contender to gain the women's championship with no interim in front of it. And I think, Hayter will definitely retain then. But I think this is, we're in the era of Hayter right now. I think she's going to have a decent. I don't think it's going to be a super long title reign. But I'm glad she has her. I'm glad she has a championship. I think it's well deserved.
Yeah, I'd like to see. Yeah, like you said, I'd like to see her go up against a number one contender. Maybe even if it's Dr. Britt Baker or some shit,
That's
something
what I'm
happens
thinking. Yeah,
and Hayter retains, becomes the actual women's champion for a little while, and then Tony comes back around and she wins it back off Hayter, cementing herself as an actual AEW Women's World Champion.
mm.
Because I think that's bullshit. Tony Storm is amazing. I love Tony Storm. I love Jamie Hayter too, but I think it's bullshit that Tony Storm's whole fucking time as champion was an interim champion. I think that's stupid. I think it should never happen. If you can't defend your belt, you should relinquish it. If you can't defend your title, you don't hold the title, Tony Khan. Like, there's no giving him benefit of the doubt, no fucking this or that. If you can't defend your title, you give it up. I'm pretty sure that's what usually happens in WWE too. Like it's not, it doesn't take rocket science. I don't, I think I just, I know we both hate the interim thing. Maybe me more than you, but I fucking think it's just so stupid. Like I thought it was stupid
Yeah,
when it was CM Punk's thing. I think it's even more stupid now with the women's title. It's so unnecessary. Like why? Like just have them go for it again when they get back. Like it just makes no sense to me.
yeah. I agree with doing it depending on the injury and recovery time. And then if the talent then decides to take longer
Mm-hmm.
than what should be
It makes sense.
expected, then yes, drop the interim immediately, do a
Yeah.
match, solidify. Like because I do think talent deserves that chance. They didn't give up. They were in a match, they got hurt, right? And they had to relinquish the title in that manner. Now, if the talent just up and left, then there's no interim. But from what I've heard and seen and the way people are talking, it seems like Thunder Rosa is 100% recovered. So if you're 100% recovered and you're still not coming back to claim your title, it's not yours anymore.
Hmm.
It is the current champions.
Right. Yeah, no, I just immediately thought of Finn Balor when he won the Universal title, like the first ever Universal champion. And 2 days later, after the pay per view, he relinquished it but it was probably a more serious injury, probably slated to be out a lot longer. I can't remember back then. Um, but that fucking sucked. If that didn't happen, if they would have let him be, have an interim Universal champion for a few months, his whole career could have changed. I mean, I like how he's doing the Judgment Day right now, but I mean, before Judgment Day, like he was all over the fucking place. Um, but in any case, sidetracking here. Um, yeah, I agree with you. I'd say like maybe a month, two max of benefit of the doubt. Like, hey, your injury is slated to take this long to recover. If it's any more than this, you have to relinquish. I mean, it only makes sense, and it's only fair for the rest of the roster. It can't have everyone wait around. You can't give the stupid interim label to everyone, especially if you have plans to just have them the interim champion that's been carrying the fucking title on their back and defending it.
Right.
Just to fucking lose to the person that got injured in the first place, like it's pretty much all for nothing. Then okay, yeah, I was interim champion for a few months, and well, what was it for? It's kind of stupid in my opinion, but I get what you're saying, and it makes complete sense because they didn't ask to be injured. You're right, and they worked hard and they won that belt, so they should get some time to recover and defend it. But I mean, I don't know. It's a tough situation for me
Well,
personally.
I mean, not to get too far off base, but we have seen it where there has been an interim title and they have had a unification match and the person who originally held the title didn't win. And
Mm-hmm.
that was with Cody Rhodes and Sammy Guevara.
Yep.
So, you know, it. it could go either way, really. I just say, like I said, like, hey, the title, you're gonna go in for surgery. You're gonna take it. It's gonna take about 6 weeks to recover, and then you have communication. Oh, I'm gonna be back in another 2 weeks. I need a little bit more time to recover. Wear off
Yeah,
some
because
rust and
I
shit.
think she's still tweeting and shit. Like I checked the other day, like after the pay per view, like what the like she's not saying in the moment she's gonna be back, but let's see, Thunder Rosa, Twitter, verified check mark. 7 hours ago, she retweeted Mission Pro Wrestling, and she's like actively tweeting and shit, like all of this stuff. It's like she was tweeting about Full Gear, so that's cool. So I don't know if she's fully recovered yet because I don't know, dude. I just think it's time to just get rid of that fucking
I agree.
interim thing.
I
I
agree.
think it's and if she wants it that bad, she can come back and be 2 time once she's ready. Just give her a
Absolutely.
time, do what the fuck she wants to do, and she can come back and she can be 2 time. She doesn't
I
need to be 1 time, just for holding the belt while she's out.
The interim should have been taken off when Tony Storm was still champion. That
Yeah.
that's the last I have to say about that. But
Hmm.
just to get back to the match itself, it was an excellent match. Kudos to both competitors, and I'm happy Jamie Hayter won.
Me too. Absolutely. We haters over here for sure. We
Yeah,
love the haters. I love Tony Storm too. I mean, both are so good, but I'm happy haters got it, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she does with it. Um, Second to last match of the card here, we had the fan
Whew.
favorites, the People's Choice, from what the self-proclaimed People's Choice, the Acclaimed versus a Swerve in Our Glory.
Scissor me, Johnny
Uh,
Rude.
I'm scissoring you.
Ah! Yeah, man. Match was fire. Like, the match spoke for itself. The wrestling was excellent. The Acclaimed is excellent. Keith Lee, Swerve, they put on a fucking show, man. It was great.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved the back and forth exchanges. I loved the culmination with Swerve in Our Glory. Fucking Swerve pulls out the pliers or whatever the fuck, trying to fuck up the fingers so they can't scissor anymore. And Keith just throws those pliers out of the ring. Swerve smacks him, and Lee's like, "All right, fuck you, then I'm done." And that's the opposite I thought for some reason. I don't know why my brain worked the other way, but I thought Swerve was gonna walk out on Lee. That's why on my picks I put that Lee got pinned. But it makes more sense retroactively thinking that Swerve would do some dumb shit as the heel, and Lee's like, "Fuck this, I want no part of it," and walks out. But nonetheless, was a banger. Great second to last, like co-main event here. About to come up to the world championship match. And yeah, and still the Acclaimed.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And I can't believe I just noticed I got all 3 points on that shit.
Yep, you got that thing
Ooh,
all
man,
right.
yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah. I did not, I did not realize that, man. But yeah, I mean, both teams are great wrestlers. I love Keith Lee. Swerve. I'm still working on Swerve. He's definitely really good as a heel. But I love the Acclaimed. We had a nice little shootout from Billy Gunn there. During the match. I don't know why he didn't come out with them. We were really hoping for it. Everybody was really, you could really feel the disappointment in the arena that Billy Gunn didn't come out because we didn't get Billy Gunn. We didn't get the scissor me daddy ass, and
That's
everybody
true.
everybody was wearing those shirts, man. And that was one of the things I was excited for. I wanted to blow my voice out screaming scissor me daddy ass. But listen, it is what it is. It was still a great match. It doesn't take away from the match whatsoever. It was absolutely phenomenal, man. It really was.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. And then we got our main event here.
yeah, so our main event, which boy did you fucking call it, man. Lee, shit, I did not see this happening, and it did. And we are talking about the AEW World Championship match, your main event for Full Gear 2022, MJF versus John Moxley. Dude, this was a fucking banger.
Fucking Jersey hated Mox, and Mox hated Jersey.
Yeah, Jersey loved MJF because they were just a bunch of assholes. So, you
It's pretty
know,
close to Long Island too.
yeah, it's pretty right. Not too far, about 35, 40 minutes, if that. Um, yeah, man, it was MJF was definitely hot with the crowd, and everybody wanted him to win. I wanted him to win. It was such a
Me
good
too. Mox
match.
is my favorite wrestler.
Yeah. No, it really was a great match. Like he hasn't there wasn't a lot of meat to the match, you know. It was a lot of psychological. Definitely a
a
lot.
lot
I
of
mean,
a lot of Moxley fucking up MJF. That's for
yeah.
sure.
100%. A lot of MJF playing with the anti-hero kind of thing during the whole match. Do I use dynamite diamond? Do I not use it? Isn't that blah blah blah? Throws it out of the ring, and what happened just a few short moments after that was, I think, the only person who was that was not unexpected to was you.
Yeah, no, yeah. So yeah, and I forget what the ref got distracted. Ref got knocked out by one of their moves, and then Moxley got him in a submission. MJF actually tapped out. He didn't really tap the fuck out, but eventually Mox let go of the grip because he knew, he thought he won, that was it. But there was no tap, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And then that's when Regal swooped in, threw the brass knucks to MJF, popped him right in the face. Ref woke back up, and we got a new champion. It's Maxwell Jacob Friedman.
Yeah, they had everybody fooled, man. That they were not. They couldn't have played that any better to show that they were not working together. Um, the match itself was really fun to watch. It was just everything kind of everywhere. There was no, I didn't feel like there was any real structure to the match because it was so psychological that it was just
Mm-hmm.
kind of like, all right, we're going to hit this spot, then we're going to hit this spot, then we're going to do that spot. And I know Mox likes to do a lot of things on the fly, you know, communicating inside of the ring, which is ends up being some of my favorite matches, even when I don't know that. Now, as a more seasoned wrestling fan, I can kind of sense that and pick that up when it feels like things are more on the fly and more relaxed rather than more structured and we're gonna do this and that, and the moves are really, you know, you could really tell what's gonna happen. You didn't know about anything that was going to happen because you got two seasoned veterans in Moxley and the legend, William Regal being on the outside, and then a very seasoned, grown into his own performer, and MJF just knows how to work everybody, work a crowd. The match, my favorite match of the night.
Yeah, it was a great match. The outcome we both expected. Um, all in all, it's an amazing pay per view. I give it 5 stars. It's great, top to bottom. Few hiccups, we discussed, but
Yeah,
all in all, the good outweighs the bad by a long shot. And yeah, I'm excited for Dynamite this week and Rampage to see what comes of this fallout of this pay per view.
absolutely. Yeah, I definitely give this, pay per view 10 out of 10. Recommend 5 star. Go watch it. Go find clips on YouTube.
Jobber Bros.
Yeah, Jobber Bros. I've posted a lot of shorts of this shit,
About to
man.
post a lot of shorts. Donnie got the ammo for me. I'm gonna load it up.
Yeah, I did.
So and make sure you check out TikTok too at Jobber Bros because he might post these up faster than I do. I don't know because he's
Yeah,
got
I'm
He's got the
gonna
ammo.
yeah, I'm definitely gonna try to get around to it. Go check out a video we posted a little earlier. Do once a week. My this week I did my top 3 favorite moments, Full Gear edition. Go check out that video. Let us know what your favorite moment of the pay per view was, or favorite match, favorite anything. Let us know. But we appreciate you guys sticking around. If you have stuck from beginning to end on this for an hour and 20 minutes, we really appreciate it. We had a lot to talk about on this one, myself included, because I was there. So this is a very exciting episode for me to do because I was there, and I always really have fun doing this with my best friend of a long time.
You
So hope you guys enjoy it. Let us know your thoughts. Yeah, post your comments below. Start any rumors you want. Give us any shit you want. We don't care. Fuck off and have fun with it.
absolutely, yeah. We don't give a fuck. Anyways, we appreciate you tuning in. Just like Donnie said, make sure to check out the podcast. We're going to be working on that a little bit more, getting the podcast services up. If you don't want to see our ugly mugs, if you'd rather listen to our voices, you can do that. Make sure to check out our shorts on YouTube because they are the best shorts of professional wrestling on YouTube.
100%.
TikTok, Instagram is the one that gets the least attention. So really focus on TikTok and YouTube and Twitter. Twitter, I'm always bullshitting with fake people back and forth on Twitter at Java Bros. Every social is at Java Bros. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon. Peace.